So hopefully this will be our final video. I just wanted to take you through every single problem that you guys could encounter for this section. So for this one, we're going to divide by pi, and when we do that, we get 121 equals r squared. So r is squared, so we have to do the opposite of squaring something and take the square root of it. So when we do that, we get a radius of 11. Is that our final answer? You should all be saying in your heads, no, Mr. Erling, it is not. We're looking for a diameter. We have to multiply it by 2. 11 times 2 will give us 22 for our diameter, okay? Number 18 asks you to find the perimeter of a square with an area of 361 square feet. Now, if it's a square, what do we know about all the sides? Well, we know that all the sides are going to be the same for a square. So, normally we have area equals base times height. Well, really all we're saying is that it's going to be base times our other base because it's the same side. So it's the same side. So a lot of times what you'll see for an area of a square, since we have both bases are the same, is we are going to see the formula of area equals a side squared, because basically we're just saying one side times another side. So it's just like when we have 5 times 5, it's the same thing as 5 squared. So in a square, if we had a side of 5, we know every other side is 5. So we're just doing 5 times 5. So for this one, it tells us our area is 361. So for this, it's going to equal our side squared. Well, looking back at number 17, we see what do we do when we have a number squared? We take the square root of it. So we take the square root of 361, and that gives us 19. 19. So our side here is 19. I'm using S for side. So 19 is our side. So to find, another question asks the perimeter. So what we're saying is we have a square over here. All right, I'm going to erase this 5 so we don't get confused. That was just an example there. So for this, we have every side is going to be 19, okay? So how do we find the perimeter? All we have to do is just add up 19 4 times. And when we do that, we get a perimeter of 76 feet. And again, how do we get that? Well, you know what we did? We added up all the sides. Now, looking at our last problem, we made it, guys. We have made it. We are almost there. So, Mr. Payton would like to paint his deck. The dimensions of the deck are shown below. If one can of paint covers 72 square feet, how many cans will we need to purchase for 2 coats of paint? So, 2 coats of paint here. So for this one, the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to figure out what shape this is. Oh man, it's a trapezoid. Got to remember that formula. So area equals 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. Okay. So once we do that, and we're going to plug in all the information. It's nice that they give us all the information there. So we just plug in 1/2 times our height, which is 16.5. And then our bases, which are 14 and 24. Those are our parallel sides. So 14 plus 24. All right, so we plug that all in. And when we do that, we should get a final answer of 313.5 feet squared. Now, what they're asking for is they're saying that how many cans will he need to purchase for 2 coats of paint? So what we're saying is the area is just the space taken up. So, okay, we painted it. The area is basically 1 cone of paint. So what we have to do is this 313.5, that is just 1 coat of paint. So we're going to have to multiply that number by 2, okay, to get an answer of 627. So that's the area that he's going to need to cover with 2 coats of paint. And for this one, we're going to have to divide it by 72 because 1 can of paint covers 72 square feet. So we divide it by 72. And when we do that, we get 9 cans of paint. And that's only because 1 can of paint covers 72 square feet. And we're going to have to cover an area of 627. We found that because it's 2 coats of paint that he had to purchase, guys. So I just want to make sure we're clear about that. We found the area, multiplied it by 2 because we're talking